Hey guys, Malkarian7 here, and welcome to another Minecraft Pocket PC Edition Let's Play. As you may notice, I now have an Iron Golem, which wasn't here in the last video. And there's a reason why I skipped past making an Iron Golem in video, along with making the enchantment table in video. And the reason why is because making all of the stuff was excruciatingly painful, and I was even trying to record, but unfortunately I had some issues with Boardwalk crashing, and the reason why is because my phone hasn't quite supported Boardwalk very well. And I know that people out there might be saying, well, wait a minute, I thought it was working before in the last video. Well, that was with my Moto G. You see, since that video, I upgraded to Moto E, thinking that with the high capacity for video making, I would be able to make better videos. But unfortunately, with the installation of an SD card slot, it lacks the same performance. So in truth, there are a few issues. One thing, Boardwalk tends to crash more often. Second thing, as you may have noticed right at the very beginning, the graphics are a bit off. And the third thing, which is probably the most annoying part, I can't go to either the nether or the end, and the reason why is because of the number of chunks. I figured that out because I tried creating a default world, and unfortunately it wouldn't let me. So in other words, I could only make a super flat world. I couldn't make a regular world that you would explore, because there were far too much chunks for the Android 5.0 to support, which is completely bonkers, but what can I do? I can't even really figure out how to change the runtime on this thing. However, there may be some hope for the Minecraft Pocket PC Edition Let's Play, and no, I'm not going to be doing another recording on my Moto G, although I've already figured out something else. You all remember my Kindle Fire, right? Well, I know anyone who's ever watched my videos in the past knows very well that before I couldn't do screen recordings, but since then I have completely hacked my Kindle and I've turned it into a full functioning Android device. Not to mention I also managed to activate a screen recorder on it, the same kind of screen recorder I'm using right now, and it all works. Not to mention that the graphics on my Kindle Fire with the Boardwalk app are actually better than even the Moto G. So I will probably be having a lot better videos coming out with that. But of course there are a couple of hiccups. The main one in particular is figuring out a way to get an external keyboard and mouse hooked up. And the reason why is because there's a particular type of adapter I use to hook up a 4-way hub to my phone. It's a USB converter that converts regular USB, the kind you would plug into a computer, into a micro USB that would go into my phone. Well, with my Kindle, the adapter I have isn't compatible, and I don't really know what kind of adapter it is, and I'm not going to go get an adapter for it either. So I thought about it, and then I remembered that the Kindle Fire is Bluetooth enabled, which means it can connect with Bluetooth devices. But then that would mean I would have to get a Bluetooth keyboard and Bluetooth mouse, right? Well, actually, I think I might have figured out a way to get around that. The keyboard and the mouse I have will work on my Kindle, but I would need to get a Bluetooth USB hub. Instead of the hub I have, get a hub that's Bluetooth enabled so that way I can connect it to my Kindle. It would be a lot more efficient. I wouldn't have to worry about an adapter coming out, which I've had to worry about with this. So, and seriously, I have. It's actually quite annoying when it does come out, because then Boardwalk crashes. So, but even if I were to continue videos on this, I would rather have a Bluetooth USB hub, because I wouldn't have to worry about it coming out, of course. So, yeah. and that would probably work well with my Kindle Fire. Which, in truth, it's not even really a Kindle Fire anymore. In fact, if you checked out my post, I shared a picture of my Kindle Fire with an Android setup. And I mean, it's like a basic Android 4.4 KitKat setup. And so, basically enough, my Kindle is now a full functioning Android device, which makes it far more easier to use, for one thing. And then also, I have Google Play, so pretty much getting all the apps I paid for onto my Kindle was a lot easier. So, to put it quite frank, my Kindle is now awesome again. And I know that Kindle naturally sucks. That's how come I went ahead and took the liberty of changing my Kindle's layout. And but anyway, enough about that. I can talk about that in another video probably. I've been talking for minutes on end about it. So basically enough, another thing I managed to do was put a brewing stand here, an anvil here, and oh, whoops, I'm sorry. I accidentally pressed buttons on my mouse that caused that. Way over here, I have my enchantment table, which, as you may remember, or maybe not, I don't know. The enchantment table on this particular app seems to have a few problems with its graphics. And in truth, this was the same problem on my Moto G. Apparently, my Kindle doesn't have this problem where the graphics are altered. Actually, my Kindle is pretty solid when it comes to the graphics. I mean, it needs an updated OpenGL, of course, but I can work on that at another point. It's not entirely necessary in order for me to have good graphics. Although the game still lags quite a bit. In fact, that might be exactly, now thinking about it, the OpenGL might be very well what the Boardwalk app is missing. I should probably tell Zoe Zhang, and he can see what he can do. Because as I remember, Minecraft PE has an OpenGL. In fact, it has an OpenGL 2.0, which basically gives it very good graphics and not so much lag. Now, if I remember right, the launcher on a PC probably doesn't normally have an OpenGL because the OpenGL would be installed on your computer. However, on a phone, it's not quite the case. So, I actually might have figured out the problem with the lag. Weird. Although I should probably tell Zoe Zhang to put OpenGL 3.0 so that way people could do Twitch live streams. Yeah, that would probably be a very good idea. It would really do something about this lag, I'll tell you. Because this lag is terrible. But anyway, this video is going to be rather short. I have one other thing to show you guys. And in truth, I've passed it twice now. I was even sitting in front of it while I was talking, and I kind of just forgot about it. Sorry about that, by the way. Something else I went about doing was having these two buttons put in. This one changes the game mode to creative. The other one changes the game mode to survival. And they really do work. In fact, I can even show you, just in case if you don't believe me. I'm now in creative mode, so if I open up my inventory, I got the creative mode inventory. But then I come over here and I want to change the game to survival. quite simple. You may be wondering why I have those installed. Well, in truth, because I'm on a super flat world, I'm kind of limited on supplies. So as you can imagine, because I'm so limited on supplies, I'm going to have to switch between creative and survival, and even in video most likely. And excuse me. One of the issues I've kind of stumbled upon while I'm in video and I have to go to creative mode or go back to survival is that I would have to unplug my keyboard in order to do it, in order to change between creative and survival, and that would mean that Boardwalk would have to crash. Either that or I just exit out of the world and then, yeah. But basically enough, I wouldn't be able to type with the keyboard that I'm using. This keyboard in here, I can't even use while I have my external keyboard plugged in. So there's one particular stipulation. So of course, this pretty much counteracts that. Or at least for now anyway. And you may be wondering how they work, unless of course if you know very well about command blocks, in which case then you would know very well that's what I'm using. Command blocks are very awesome things because they can basically use commands from any player. Of course, this is a first player part, but something I have to ask is just thinking about multiplayer. Does anyone know how to set up a multiplayer server? I mean, I downloaded the software, obviously, but I don't know how to set it up or whatever, so I really don't know how to make myself a I don't really know how to make myself a server for Minecraft PC. I don't even really know what to do with the software I've installed. I could look it up, but I don't really know where to go. I've ran into a few dead ends because I don't know how many people even do those kind of videos, tutorials on how to set it up. Although, in truth, I can't really watch them at home because I'll forget when I actually get to the library, so I have to watch them at the library. Watch them over and over in order to make sure I get them right. Sometimes I'll even get it wrong, but you know. But anyway, I really want to set up a multiplayer server for friends or whatnot. But anyway, I've ran for 15 minutes now, so I should probably end the video. I'd like to thank you all for watching, even though it's been mainly talking. It's basically talking about the future of my channel. And hopefully, the future of my channel is bright. And but I could always do videos of Minecraft Pocket Edition if Pocket PC Edition doesn't quite work. Although in its current state, it's not exactly easy to use. So, although I hope they that Mojang fixes all the bugs, because in truth there are a lot of different bugs that I'm rather annoyed with, to put it lightly. But anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.